Hey everybody, welcome to Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. On this episode, a chef who grew up helping her parents in their grocery, bakery, and catering business, then decided she wanted to cook for a living. Now she's running the kitchen at 3 spots in Washington, D.C. Here's Katarina Petonito. Chef, how you doing? Thanks for joining me.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you. For many chefs, big-time success seems to require moving to a city known as a food town. New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco. You've chosen your hometown.
Yeah.
Why?
I've always loved the community of DC and the history and just the way the buildings look. I love everything about the city.
There's been a perception over the years that as a food town, Washington is boring. Steak and red wine for politicians, lobbyists, and nerds. I get the sense that's been changing.
Oh, it's been changing for a while. So I moved back here in, I want to say 2012 after moving around the US a little bit. And I would say the food scene kind of popping back then, you know? It was like we had this massive influx of restaurants and chefs, and we had the Grammy Awards that were implemented for like best restaurants in the city and all that stuff. And then we've been slowly getting more and more recognition through James Beard, and now Michelin is here, and it's kind of evolved into a bigger food scene than it was, I would say, like 15 years ago. But it is kind of quieting down again, I would say.
Really? Why is that? The economy?
I think it's the economy. I think it was 128 restaurants that closed last year.
In the D.C. area?
In the D.C. area, yeah. There's so many restaurant closures. I think everything, the cost of ingredients and labor and rent is just, it's becoming too much for a normal margin traditional restaurant. And if you don't have other revenue streams, it's hard.
Well, there have been predictions that fine dining is dead.
Yeah.
2 of your places, I guess, are fine dining, are they?
One of them is a little more, like, we would say one is casual, one is a little more upscale. I wouldn't call it fine dining. We don't have tablecloths or anything like that.
I was just at a Michelin star place in Charleston that has no tablecloth. I'm not sure that's the definition anymore.
No, it's not. It's more like steps of service and, you know, offerings and food and all of that now.
There's always, in the restaurant business, the sky is always falling, but this seems pretty damn serious. What's your sense of the future of the business?
Ooh, that's a deep question. I think where restaurants are going are more fast casual. I think that's where, at least in this area, how consumers are wanting to eat. They want to grab and go or just sit somewhere and eat and talk real quick and then leave. They're not looking for that 3-4 hour dining experience anymore.
For economics, for lifestyle, for both?
I'd say both. I mean, I don't know about you, but I can't afford a $1,000 plate or meal prefix.
No, either can I. Okay, I want to talk about your restaurants specifically, but in a minute.
Okay.
First, I want to get you there. You grew up outside of D.C., what, Maryland?
Yeah, I grew up in Germantown, Maryland, like an hour outside of D.C. I am a daughter of an immigrant. My mother came over here from the Philippines, and my father is a military child.
Your parents worked in the food biz?
They owned a catering company and a grocery store in Germantown when I was younger, and I kind of grew up in the industry.
From afar, or did you get your hands dirty?
Oh, yeah. I'm half Asian. We got down and dirty. My mom put me to work. We were stocking shelves. We were being cashiers. I say we, like my siblings and I was icing cakes. I was packing stuff up. I was putting bread in bags. I've been working with food my whole life.
But unlike so many, I talk to many chefs who say, well, I got my first job in high school at the local pizzeria. Mm-hmm. Yours was in the family.
Mine was in the family. So technically it wasn't a job because I wasn't paid. It was more volunteer work.
I get the sense it was forced volunteer work.
Oh, yes, big time. Actually, it was kind of fun. You know, when you're little, you just want to hang out with your parents.
How big a deal was food at home?
At home, it was more of a survival. My dad worked for the government. After his job, he would come work at the store with my mom, and my mom would run it all day. So by the time it was time for dinner, it would be like Vienna sausage, rice, ketchup, or like my mom would make some Filipino food. And then every day we would sit down and talk about our day and have a family meal. That, I think, was probably the most important thing to my parents, is just making sure we all had time for each other.
I read that you said Thanksgiving you did the traditional American dishes, but there was always something Filipino thrown in.
Oh, yeah. So I grew up super Filipino. We were very ingrained in my mom's family. They all immigrated here when my mother was like in her teens, like I would say 16 or 17. She has 5 siblings. They were all in this area, and we grew up really tight-knit and just really ingrained in the Filipino culture, just all of that. So when Thanksgiving would come, my mom wanted us to be American. Italian. So like we had the turkey, we had the ham, we had the mashed potatoes, but we also had like caldereta and rice.
Oh, hold on, back up. What's caldereta?
Caldereta is like a braised beef dish flavored with liver and...
You say liver and so many Americans go, ooh, I happen to love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's delicious. What's not to like? The reason why it's not like, oh my God, liver is because it has a bad marketing team.
Yeah. Got liver?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the Filipino culinary influence, but your dad's not Filipino.
No, my dad is Italian through and through.
So was there Italian influence as well?
Yes, I would say a lot of Italian influence. My dad also cooked. He likes to brag that his first job was as a cook at an Italian place. I'm pretty sure it was Domino's, but he makes a mean meatball.
What's the key to a mean meatball?
Now I make a mean meatball. I would say it's the ingredients that you use. So I use farm-raised beef, local pork, and I use a capricola that has no like nitrates, and you just mix it all together with some breadcrumbs, milk, some seasonings. I can't give away all my secrets.
At what point, after having a great time as a kid working in the grocery store and eating a combination of American, Filipino, and Italian stuff at home, and I guess seafood too, because your grandfather, your dad's dad was a crabber?
Yes, he was a crabber, my pappy, yeah.
At what point did you say, you know what, I think I want to cook for a living?
I think I've always wanted to cook. There was a brief moment where I was like, oh, maybe I ought to go into like marine biology and be a dolphin trainer. But I've always wanted to really, truly cook. I knew at the age of 16 that it was something I was interested in. From being a young kid, I was always making pancakes or like learning how to do some sort of small thing with my mom in the kitchen. But I was always in awe of how my mom would be in the kitchen and she'd always start with onions and garlic. And then I'd leave and come back 30 minutes later and it's just this grand Filipino meal. And it's so flavorful and everybody is so excited to eat it. And it was always something that interested me. I would say I was a senior in high school and I was like thinking about all the colleges I should apply to. I had some scouts interested in me for Penn State for softball. And then my grandmother actually got diagnosed with gallbladder cancer. So it was terminal.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, it's been a long time and we've grieved. My cousins actually came from California and we all had like this kind of Last Supper situation where we all cooked and we were all interested in the culinary arts back then. And my cousin Steph was already a chef. She already went through training and all that stuff. My other cousin Christina was more front of the house and they came over and then I was really interested in cooking. So we made this really big meal. And of course, my mom already knew how to cook and all my Filipino family knows how to cook. So we're all cooking. We're having a good time. We have music blasting, drinks are flowing, even though I was old enough to drink.
I won't tell anyone. There's a statute of limitations, I think. Yeah.
And my grandmother actually sat me down and she was like, Katarina, this is what you need to do. I've never seen you this happy. You're in it. You just do it. Follow your dreams.
Wow.
And I've been on that path ever since.
We'll be right back. How'd you follow your dreams?
I went to culinary school. I went to CIA in New York.
Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park.
Yes. Hyde Park. And I graduated with my associates.
Yeah, no, hold on, back up. I read that you aren't exactly succeeding, soaring.
Oh, no, I was not.
And that one of your teachers sat you down and kind of shook you?
Yeah, so my grandmother and I were very close. And when she died, I was not doing very well mentally. And, you know, growing up in a house of immigrants, you don't talk about your mental health. You don't talk about depression. You don't talk about like anything. So I turned to drugs and alcohol. And I was, a 19-year-old kid in college, drinking, smoking, doing all sorts of whatever with no parent supervision. I was spiraling. And luckily I had a chef who saw me.
A teacher,
yeah. He saw me. He saw that I was talented and he saw that I was driven, but he also saw that I was hurting. Back then, the normal thing to do when you're a teacher and you're a chef is to yell and snap them out of it. And that's what he did. And he snapped me out of it. He truly did.
What did he tell you?
He said, you're wasting your talent. You need to wake the fuck up. He's like, you're just throwing away your dreams. If you keep going down this, you come to class high every day. I see you. You need to grow up. He sent me home for the day. And of course I cried because I'm a crybaby. And I think I went on like winter break and I got myself clean and I came back and I was still, of course I still drank and smoked occasionally, but I like tried to stay away from the hardcore stuff. And that's when I kind of started turning it all around.
Some chefs tell me culinary school was great. Some chefs tell me you don't need it. Did it open your eyes? Did you learn a whole lot?
If you asked me that like 10 years ago, I'd say no. But now that I'm getting a little older and working with kids that have been in culinary school and haven't been in culinary school, it does teach you the fundamental basis of cooking and working in restaurants. I don't know if it's still the same program that I did back then, but I would say if it's something you would do, I would suggest doing a trade school. I wouldn't suggest doing like the CIA experience unless you want to go into something like the management aspect or like the business owner aspect or the sommelier or general manager aspect of restaurants or hospitality in general.
So did you become the chef you are today simply from being on the job at various places?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously my fundamentals, I've been kind of growing since I was a child, and then they kind of honed up in culinary school once I got my shit together. And then I moved around a little bit. I was in Alabama for a little bit.
Okay, hold on. You come out of culinary school. You look up and say, yeah, I think I'll go to Alabama.
Well, Alabama was my internship. You do like a 3-month internship.
Which you did where?
Marriott. It was like a Grand Hotel Marriott in Alabama. I wanted to learn Southern hospitality.
At a Marriott.
At a Marriott.
What is Southern hospitality?
Southern hospitality would be like hospitality on steroids. You come into a restaurant here in DC, like we know your face, we know your children, maybe your favorite food, we know what kind of drink you like. In the South, you come into the restaurant, you're a regular there, we know your child, we know your grandchild, we know your aunt, we know your grandmother, we know your brother, we know your sister, we know everything about your life down there, and we'll remember it.
What about the cooking?
The cooking, it was fine.
Okay. By the way, is it true that bless his heart means he's an idiot?
Yes.
See, I can speak Southern.
Me too.
So after some okay cooking in Alabama, what'd you do next?
I finished culinary school and I moved to Nantucket with a bunch of my friends.
Because you like Nantucket or because there was a good cooking opportunity?
There was a good cooking opportunity there. Actually, the time I was there, it was voted #1 island to live on.
What were you cooking there? What was the restaurant?
It was New England cuisine. It was called Burn Point Grill. It was also in a hotel.
Look, I grew up in New England. And when you say New England cuisine, I think boring.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, what? Grilled fish?
Grilled fish, some sort of remoulade, crab cake, tartar sauce, fried scallops, the huge. So I worked at a hotel that did a lot of weddings and catering and events. And, I was just out there shucking oysters like half the time.
Were you having fun?
Yeah, I had a blast. That was probably one of the most fun and exciting times of my career was living there because it was just me and like my best friends, just gallivanting, having a good time. We would wake up, go to the beach, and then we'd go to work and then get out of work, get a 40 pack, go to the beach, get drunk, go to sleep, wake up and do it all over again. Just had a good time. We had a great time.
That does not sound like you were deeply motivated at that point to become an executive chef.
No, I just wanted to cook. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to cook. I loved the stress. I love the adrenaline rush. A lot of people think I'm an adrenaline junkie. I really like high volume, like go places. I've always worked in places like that. That's honestly what enticed me about the restaurant industry. And then my love of it has actually evolved over the years. It's pretty amazing, actually.
You went back to the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
My dad was coming into some financial issues. I think his job was getting a little unstable. He asked me to come home and kind of help out.
Sorry?
No, it's fine. It ended up bouncing back. He got another better job. On my way home, I stopped at a career fair at CIA. And I actually met my mentor there, one of them. I asked if I could come stage in DC, and he was like, yeah, come on down.
Who is this and where'd you go stage?
His name is George Pagonis. He's actually my husband's best friend, it turned out. I went to go stage at Graffiato in DC, and I had a couple stages other places, but this place was so cool and was so hip, and everybody was having fun. Just like, this could be it. So I took the job. I was making, I think, $9 an hour as a salad person.
What kind of food?
Italian.
You had grown up with Italian food.
Yeah.
Now you're making salads. Did you work your way up?
I worked my way up. So I was on salads for probably like a month. And then they were like, okay, she's too fast for salads. Let's move her down to pasta. And they moved me down to pasta. And then I went over to oven and pizza and all that stuff. And I worked my way up. And then I stayed with that company probably, I want to say like 6 years. And I worked my way up to chef de cuisine.
Wow.
Yeah.
What next?
The company exploded. And then I hopped around a little and then ended up at Star Restaurants at St. Anselm in DC.
What kind of food is that?
I would say it's like a bougie steakhouse, like a hipster steakhouse.
What makes it a hipster steakhouse?
Yeah, it's like a lot of offcuts, like butcher steaks and hanger steaks, like not your traditional tenderloin, New York.
Okay, so I'm a home cook. What's the secret to cooking a good steak? Everyone's got a different answer.
The secret is the steak. That's it.
Well, as an average consumer, can I really get the prime beef you could get there?
If you go to a farmer's market, yeah.
Farmer's market, okay.
Yeah, sometimes.
You worked your way up there to sous chef, I guess?
I was hired as a sous chef.
Is that where you learned butchery?
No, I mean, I already knew butchery from school, but that's definitely where I honed in and learned why sourcing matters. I mean, besides like the environmental impact, the flavor actually is insanely different. If you get a commodity steak, prime cut, and you cook it next to a prime cut farm steak, the flavor is just drastically different. The complexity, you can tell like the animal isn't stressed. The flavor, it's like nutty and beefy, and the texture is different. Everything is different when you taste them side by side.
What was your next step? I mean, how long were you there?
I was there for, I want to say 3 or 4 years, and then Hollis found me.
Hollis being?
Hollis Silverman. She's the owner of Eastern Point Collective.
Which is what?
Which is where I work now.
And we'll be right back.
We have the Duck and the Peach, La Colina, and the Wells.
So you're the executive chef of 3 restaurants?
Correct.
2 full restaurants and
a bar
that serve some food. They all work out of the same kitchen?
Yeah. So she's a genius and designed this concept to have 3 different entities. It's a huge space, but it's divided into 3 entities.
So it's like 3 restaurants next to each other?
Yeah, there are 3 restaurants right next to each other, and they all target different demographics.
1 kitchen, 3 restaurants.
1 kitchen, 3 restaurants.
Your job as executive chef is?
To strategically make the menu so that it can be tailored to each space while not overworking our back of the house staff.
Let me play devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
There are those who would say, no, those aren't 3 restaurants. You're basically running 1 restaurant and serving part of the menu here, part of the menu there, and part of the menu there.
You could say that, but it's completely different cuisines.
How do you get a staff, or how do you as the executive chef focus in on the integrity of each menu?
I have a good team. That's how I do it. My team has been with me for almost 5 years now. I have very little turnover in the back, and I'm just in the trenches with them every day, showing them exactly how things need to be cooked, how my Nona would make it, how a really nice restaurant would cook fish. We've worked and honed in technique through just teaching and conversation.
Well, let's talk about each place. The Duck and Peach, described as a new American restaurant.
New American.
What the hell does that mean?
It's a great question. I say that all the time. What is New American cuisine? For me, my interpretation is New American cuisine is what America is, right? It's the melting pot aspect of it. This is what I love about this restaurant is because I can take influences from all over the world and mix them with the ingredients that are grown in this area and just keep it hyper seasonal and have fun with flavors.
Like what? What are you making there?
So right now, my yellowtail crudo is a play on kinilaw, which is a Filipino crudo dish, but I kind of Americanized it and modernized it. So instead of all this fish being macerated in coconut milk and vinegar and onions and chilies, we cure the fish with lime and then we slice it really thin. And then we're pouring a coconut vinaigrette that's seasoned with lime juice and broken with a Thai basil oil and then garnished with crispy ginger on it. And it tastes just like kinilaw, but it looks beautiful. Not that kinilaw is not beautiful, but...
Is there a lot of Filipino flavor in this menu?
Sometimes there can be like, I'll pull some things. Like we also have like a pork belly dish, which is a play on lechon.
Play on what?
Lechon, it's really crispy skinned roasted pork. So we do a pork belly and we roast it for hours and then crisp up the skin. And then I Americanized it and we did an apple cider gastrique and a Brussels sprout slaw. So the protein is Filipino inspired, but the accoutrements, I would say, are local inspired, American inspired.
I read the star of the show and the menu, a large spinning rotisserie that looms in the open kitchen. I think this was from the write-up when the New York Times named you one of the 50 best in D.C.
Yeah.
And what makes the food cooked on it special?
One, I mean, the technique of rotisserie just is beautiful, right? You're hot and then cold and hot and cold. So you're not overcooking anything and it's constantly spinning. The skin gets crispy.
I hadn't thought about that. It goes from hot to cold to hot to cold.
Yeah. So it's like you're constantly interval cooking.
You do a lot of duck here.
Yes. We are known for our duck.
Why are you laughing? Did I say it funny? What?
No. I mean, the duck and the peach. We had to have a good duck. That was like my first mission when I came on board. Make a duck that'll blow everyone out of the water.
Was it named before you came aboard?
Yes, it was.
Okay. I'm reading off the menu that I found online and the duck's done on the rotisserie. I'm not even going to try to pronounce Jurg. What kind of duck?
Jurgowitz duck. We work with with Joe Jergowitz. It's a vet-owned poultry farm. I believe they are located in Pennsylvania now, but they originally were in Long Island, and it was Peking duck. They raise Peking ducks, and it's still the same genetics that they were using 100 years ago. They just raised their ducks to be happy ducks, and you can taste it. They also breed them to be like a fattier skin, so it works really well in our rotisserie as it's interval cooking. It slowly renders, and it cooks the duck kind of like a confit.
Ooh.
On this rotisserie, because the skin encapsulates the fat and it's just slowly roasting in its own fat, and it just becomes this beautiful, crispy, delicious, tender duck.
You got something on the menu called the Duck Feast? What's that?
So the Duck Feast is kind of like our prefix. We have a tasting menu where you can get all of the stars of the show. Whatever we do, our bread that we use a local granary called Beekers Farms. They grow all of their wheat organically and GMO free, and they stone grind in-house. So we use a whole wheat, and we make a pumpernickel with that, and we serve that with our seasonal butters. So you'll start with bread and butter. You'll get a small bite, whether it's our duck liver pate or a crudo or beef tartare. Then you get the feast, the whole duck. It's broken down. It's served with the salad and our seasonal sauce. Right now, I believe it's our l'orange sauce. And then you get our two sides. Our side that we're known for are goat butter mashed potatoes.
Goat butter mashed potatoes?
Yeah, goat butter mashed potatoes. So our whole thing is we stay away from cow dairy. Hollis is really into medicinal medicine through food. Cow dairy is linked to a lot of inflammation in your body, mainly because there is an extra protein strand in cow dairy that's really hard for people to digest, myself included. Studies have shown that buffalo, sheep, and goat don't have that extra protein molecule and are actually easier on digestion. The reason I created this mashed potato is because who doesn't like mashed potatoes? And they evolved into this beautiful, beautiful dish. It has beautiful microgreen allium salad on it with crispy garlic. It'll also be served with one other side, which will be whatever is in season. And then you get two desserts.
Two desserts?
Yes, one per person.
Okay, let's go next door to La Colina.
La Colina, yes.
On the website, it says an Italian-ish neighborhood restaurant.
Yes, we like to use the word ish, so we don't have to stay in the realm of traditional Italian.
I'm looking at the menu. You're full of pasta, obviously.
Yes.
You're making the pasta?
We do make the pasta. We make that pasta in-house. We have a bronze die extruder. We make all of our pastas with an organic stone ground semolina. Then we par dry them and we cook them to order.
Does it really make a difference if it's fresh pasta?
Yeah, it does.
What does it do in my mouth or on my tongue? Can I tell?
It's the velvetyness. It just creates this velvety texture in your sauce. The way the pasta extrudes, there's these micro abrasions on the pasta, and then that kind of dissolves into the sauce, but also absorbs the sauce. So then it becomes kind of like this melded, beautiful pasta. Yes, it matters.
You have a variety of pastas available. What are the most popular?
I would say our alla vodka, our ratatouille alla vodka is our most popular. We make that with goat butter as well. It is good.
Is there vodka in there?
Oh yeah, lots of it.
Can I taste it? Vodka's a neutral spirit.
But the vodka does. And the vodka sauce is when you're cooking it, it's evaporating so fast, it creates a faster emulsion. That way you can heat your cream up and you're not breaking your sauce. You're not creating a broken cream sauce with tomato. Tomato is so acidic and cream, it can curdle. So what the vodka does is it kind of stabilizes it while you're heating it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, a little science for you.
Thank you. Is cacio e pepe still having its moment?
I think so. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to lose its moment. What's not to like?
You do that with goat butter. Well, you do everything with goat butter, I guess.
I do everything with goat butter or buffalo butter, yeah.
You do a bolognese, but you do it with lamb. Why?
I was really on a lamb kick when I started, and it kind of became like a staple. It wasn't intentional, but it has such a following that I can't take it off the menu.
You have a 35-ounce porterhouse?
Yes.
I assume that's for more than one person?
Yeah. Oh, we'd recommend that for the table. Yeah. So that is our play on Florentine steak. We could get Florentine beef, but we like to stay local. So this is where the ish comes in. We partner with Rosetta Farms in Mount Airy. We get their meat and age it for about 3 weeks. And then we cut these 2.2 pound slabs out of the short one. We broil it and roast it and slice it and top it with a really nice Aberquina olive oil. Spanish, remember ish, and sea salt. That's our Florentine steak. And it is so good.
My wife and I took a cooking class in Spain once, and the instructor, who was somebody's grandmother, explained what you need to do is pour on a whole lot of olive oil, and then when you're done with that, pour on more.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. The olive oil we use is insane. It's so good. It is very expensive, but it's worth every single penny.
The smoke point issue. Should you saute in olive oil?
No, I don't saute in olive oil.
What do you use?
I use sunflower oil or canola oil.
Okay. We got one more place to visit. I guess this one's between the two we've discussed on that block. The Wells. What's the Wells?
It's like a cute little speakeasy.
I've seen it described as a gin bar.
It is.
It's not just gin, right? It's a bar.
You can get other spirits. Obviously, we have other spirits in house, but we have like really crazy amount of gin. We have probably over 100 different types of gin, and they all have different flavor profiles. Some of those gins taste like bourbon. Some of those gins taste like something you've never tasted before. It's really crazy. How versatile gin is, I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea until I started working here.
Well, I certainly don't. I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'll drink it now and then.
Yeah. I mean, same. I was the same way. And now it's like my go-to spirit besides tequila.
Is the place really reservations only?
It's ideal. If you want, it's so intimate, it's so small, and we can't fit more than 4 at a table. So we do recommend a reservation, especially if you were trying to sit like 2 groups of 4 together. We have one area that we could do that. It's recommended, but you can walk in on our slower nights on like a Thursday. You can walk in.
So who comes for gin? Gin's not having a moment, is it?
I think it's having a good amount of moments.
Let me ask you this key question. If you make it with vodka, is it still a martini?
I think so.
Okay. Not a complete gin fanatic.
I'm not a huge gin fanatic, yeah, but I do like my martinis made with gin now.
So if I stop in for a drink, what are you going to offer me to eat? Is it snacks? Is it peanuts?
So we do snacks. We do snacks at the Wells. We don't do anything crazy because we want you to have dinner at one of our other restaurants and then come here for after drinks or before drinks, or if you just want to drink. And so we do snacks. We have this corn nut snack, which is a play on my Filipino heritage again, is called Bawang. Bawang is the brand. It's a cornic snack, usually flavored with garlic. It's something that you would eat at a bar and drink beer with. So I did a play on that, and I did it barbecue flavored, and I added some other nuts to it. So it was more like bar foodie and more approachable to our average guest, because who wants to just eat a giant bowl of cornix besides me?
You do elevate from there. I mean, you've got a Wagyu cheesesteak.
Oh yeah, we have a Wagyu cheesesteak. So our whole thing there was to do plays on like street food. We started with lumpia, which is a play again on my Filipino heritage. It's something you eat while you're walking around, a little snack. And then cheesesteak kind of just made its way to the menu. Obviously, Philly cheesesteak. But we do a truffle mornay and a Wagyu shaved beef on a house-made brioche bun. Yeah, it's really good. It's decadent.
You've also got caviar. Now, it says beluga. I didn't think you could get beluga anymore.
I can get beluga.
From where?
My guy.
Is this the guy in Florida that I put in my book?
No. This is Felix. Felix is my guy. He has a company called Angel's Gifts. He came knocking on my door and tasted me on these caviars, and they're incredible. Everything is packaged in glass, so it doesn't have that metal flavor reaction to it. And it's just so nutty and delicious. And yes, I can get beluga. It's not from Russia either.
I will definitely be right there. 3 restaurants, different cuisines. How much of your life does this take up?
A lot.
But you have a family, right?
I do have a family. I am married. I have 1 child. He's amazing. He's 2.5.
How do you manage the balance?
Honestly, I have an amazing partner. I married an amazing man. He takes care of me. He takes care of my child. He manages the house. He also works a full-time job. He also takes care of our lovely dog who's just sleeping next to me. He keeps everything running. He keeps my life running. He has allowed me to follow my dream of running a restaurant and eventually owning one.
You do want to own your own place.
I want to own my own place. I don't know what it is yet because, the industry is evolving and everything is kind of crazy right now, especially in DC. So my dream of that is ever evolving, whether it's a restaurant or events hall, a catering company, fast casual, something.
And in the short term, what do you see going forward for the places you now run the kitchen at?
I love the places I run the kitchen at right now. For the short term, I'm here. I'm going to be here. I'm 100% invested. I actually just signed a partner agreement. So I'm in it.
Not to get too serious, but your mother was an immigrant. The food industry runs heavily on immigrant labor.
Yes, it does.
Can you share your feelings about what's been going on?
I think it's disgusting, to be honest, and truly heartbreaking. Our country was built on immigrants, and to turn our backs or to hone in on someone because the color of their skin, it feels like we're just going backwards as a nation. And it's so infuriating because the administration is making it seem like because they don't speak English or they have darker skin or something like that, they're not people. These are people. They have feelings. They have families. They have lives, and they've given up their life in their country to move here and make this their country and to make our country great and be part of it. We're just turning our backs on them, and it's heartbreaking.
You have people on your staff who are directly impacted by this?
I do. And when DC was going through it, when ICE was at its highest and the National Guard was here and they were just pulling people out of their cars, and it was dangerous. Like it was scary. I told my staff if they don't feel comfortable coming to work, they don't need to come to work. And I worked the line. I was there. My chefs were there. We were all there. And we gave the time that our staff needed to heal and feel safe. And, I was like, don't worry about your job. It'll be here when you're ready to come back. When it all calms down, just stay safe, hunker down. We got this.
That's a wonderful thing you did.
It's very scary.
You actually have a reputation for taking care of the staff.
We try to take care of our staff as best as we possibly can.
Hard to get the people you need? Hard to get trained people? Do you have to do most of the teaching yourself?
For what?
Kitchen staff?
Kitchen staff? Yes and no. So like I said earlier, my staff has been with me for 5 years. They're trained. But that first year was rough. Yeah. So it was taking these people. I hired them because they were good people. When I interviewed them, they made me feel spark. And I was like, I can work with you. Like, even if you don't have the experience or the knife skills or anything, you seem like a good person. We seem like we can vibe. We can communicate. I want to keep this avenue open. Let's do it. It was hard in the beginning, but now I don't even have to be there. It runs itself.
I get the sense your kitchen is not like the Bear.
No, it's not.
None of this. Yes, chef.
No, we don't do yes, chef.
Is the industry getting better that way, do you think?
Yes and no. I think there are still some places that thrive on that certain masculinity and toxicity of it, but I don't enforce a yes, chef. I encourage staff to just call me by my name, or you can say chef. Remembering everybody's name is so hard when there's so many of us, So I call everyone chef. I make sure everybody knows that I think of them, that we're on the same level in terms of respect. And I tell all of my staff their family will always come first. If something comes up, you take the day. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And they've hung around for a really long time. So, I'm forever grateful for the people that are by my side.
Well, chef, you've done something wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel like I have to.
As well you should. And all the best of luck going forward and eventually opening your own place.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
And thank you for being here. It's been a delight to meet you and chat with you.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me again.
Katarina Petonito on Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. I'll see you next time. And check out the Culinary Characters Unlocked Substack.